is Myra J. Life is a journey, not a destination. Check out this 411 session.
Okay.
I'm Myra J, and you are?
I'm
Rickey
Look at Donna. You better put that away.
I'm looking you up right now.
No. You shouldn't look me up before. No. I'm gonna tell y'all. Sorry. Put that down. Put that down. Just wanted to kind of, chill things out. I know this is the modern age of technology, but we get ready to do old school style. Get ready to listen. Get ready to listen. Okay. All right. They asked me to come and talk about my journey. I am a writer / comedian. I've done a little acting, but many years ago, I was, where you guys are, I was a communications major in college. To be honest, I didn't know what that meant. Communications. Okay, fine, whatever. I was a sociology minor. I graduated within 5 years with a master's degree. Yeah, 3.5 for my bachelor's, 1.5 for my master's, and for the next few years, I was a social worker. I was your social worker. I was in the community, but if you have that little aching, you ain't quite what you want to do, that was me. And I know some of your parents are probably saying, you need to do da-da-da-da-da in order to be da-da. Okay. And you may not be feeling that. Maybe you want to be writers, or you want to be something in the entertainment industry. If you listen to nothing else that I say, I encourage you to follow your passion. When you do what you love, you'll never have a job, you'll have a career. And I honestly mean that, because for 8 years, I was a social worker, and I hated it. I loved the helping people part, loved it, but the whole paperwork thing and the bureaucracy, I knew it just wasn't me, and that there was something else for me out there. And went out on a blind date. I was living in Los Angeles, went out on a blind date. Guy took me to the Comedy Store. You all heard of the Comedy Store? Yeah. In LA? And I go, I stood at the Comedy Store, to be very honest, there were 12 white boys up there, and at the end of the show, and the guy said, they were really good, wasn't they? And I said, well, some of them was good, but I think I'm funny as half of them. I had never been on stage in my life. Never. But I thought, I'm half as funny as them. This was on a Saturday night. And he said, well, if you think you're so funny, on Monday nights, they have open mic. They have open mic night. Anybody can get on stage. I'm doing this. I belong to a poetry group. I went to the poetry group on Sunday. I told one person. I didn't tell none of my close friends because I was scared. Okay. You want your family to see you bomb and just thinking on stage and everything. So I said, okay. She said, girl, I'm going to go up there with you. And the only reason she came with me, we signed up as a team so both of us could get in free because she didn't have no money. And it's true, she didn't have any money. And so they introduced us as a team. She ran in the bathroom and I went on stage by myself. You had 3 minutes, and I went on stage, and I actually had a good set. And I often wonder if I would have bombed, would I have had the courage to get back on stage again. But I can tell you this, when I walked off that stage, it was like my whole world opened up. I knew I wanted to be a comedian. And I'm from Chicago. I called up Mom, and them I was like, Mama, I want to do comedy. They was like, Lord, she don't crack, somebody go get her. Somebody go get her. We done sent her through college and everything, and this girl want to go tell some knock-knock jokes. But I knew that's what I wanted to do. I didn't have the hookup. I knew nothing about the industry. I did have a brother who was starting to act at the time, but that was the beginning of my journey. So I just started going to comedy clubs. Just going. And back then, I'm not going to say how old I am, but I will tell you, this was way before Def Jam. There weren't, I don't like the way you say it.
I always
But black then, they really didn't encourage women of color to write, to do comedy. We were pretty much, if you were going to be a professional, you were going to teach, be a social worker, maybe a nurse or secretary. That was pretty much it. So I was kind of out there on my own, learning everything. Not only am I a minority, but I'm female in these comedy clubs. There was something about making people laugh I absolutely loved. And they didn't have the black clubs then. I'm down at the Comedy Store. I'm at the Improv on open mic night with my little black self, waiting in line for my little 3 minutes to get up on stage, hoping to be recognized. And I did that for years. Listen, when I say years, you can put a Z on the end. And I still loved it. Because for me, it wasn't about, I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna blow it up, and then I'm gonna give me a TV show, I'm gonna be a big fat movie star. I just wanna tell some jokes. I just wanna get good at what I do and make people laugh. And that was my passion. That's what motivated me. And then after a couple of years, I happened to be in a club that I frequented when I wasn't telling jokes. Okay, y'all, this is where I'm out and drinking, got my dance on, okay? That's what I did. But this was on an off night. I just happened to stop in there, and they had a little blues band playing. It was more people sitting in here now than was listening to the band. But I was sitting in there, and when the band took a break, I said, you all man, if I get up here and tell some jokes. And I said, no, go ahead. Because when you're passionate about something, you just want to do it. So I got up on stage, and I'm telling my little jokes and stuff, and when I finished, this guy walked up to me and said, man, you're funny, you're female. I'm a comedian too. I'd like to take you around town to some clubs. And I said, sure. And he said, my name is Robin Harris. I never heard of Robin Harris. For those of you who may not know who Robin is, if you heard of Bebe's Kids, you know Robin Harris. So literally, we left there that night. We went to the Ramada, Ramada Inn Hotel, because that night it was Black Night or something. And we go into this room, and the black folks was in there jam tight. The DJ was playing Michael Jackson or something, and they was rocking. Da, 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 da. And they walked in, and doggone it, the DJ said, Robin Harris in the house, and cut the music. I said, these people about to kill him. Lord have mercy, you don't stop the music on the black people. They stopped the music. Robin walked over to the mic where the DJ is. So he right here, and when I tell you he ripped that room up, I had never seen anything like it. Nobody was pissed. They enjoyed it. They ate him up. And then I was like, I want to be like that. That's how good I want to be. So they ended up later on a black club opening called the Comedy Act Theater. They opened up one in Atlanta years later, but it started off there. And I was the first black female to go to the Comedy Act. And on Thursday nights in Los Angeles, it started at 8 o'clock sharp. If you weren't there by 8:30, you couldn't get in. And black people dressed. Because it was the place to be. Because we didn't have to go to Hollywood, to the Improv, and to the Comedy Act. We had our own spot. And everybody would walk in there. Everybody. You had everybody from Mike Tyson to Eddie Murphy to Magic Johnson to your cable guy, the plumber, the maid. Everybody came to the Comedy Act dressed to the nines. And anybody might walk up on that stage. Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Sinbad, all in the same night. We had our spot. And so I absolutely loved it. So that's what really got me going, because I was a regular down there for years. We had a young guy who used to come through there. He used to even work the lights sometimes to get stage time. His name was Martin Lawrence. Martin and I ended up having the same manager. When Martin got his TV show, I got a call from the head writer, or like to come write for television. I never really scripted my life. But just goes to show you fate. Oh, I left out just a little bit of my story. In my writing, in my comedy, another guy named Brad Sanders asked me would I like to write for radio. That there was this guy, this jock, this fly jock, who went from Chicago to Dallas named Tom Joyner. We had a weekend show. And on the weekend show, he liked to put in comedy bits between the music. So I'm like, okay, sure. So I started writing for Tom Joyner on the side. Well, when Martin got his show, they had already hired the writing staff. But for those of you who watched the Martin show, what was his career? What did he do?
On the radio.
On the radio. Right, he was on the radio. On his sitcom, he was on the radio. So they had their team of professional writers. Not one person knew about radio. That's why I got the phone call from the head writer and said, would you like to come write for television? I'm like, well, yeah, how much you pay? Sure. I got hired just because of my knowledge of radio, because I wrote for Tom Joyner, and because I was a stand-up comic. Was I good when I started? Hell no. I'm just being real. I knew nothing about it. But I had always loved writing. I love the writing process. If you guys love to write, you know how excited you get from that thought when it goes from thought to paper, and then you see it elsewhere. That's like your child being born. And so I was very eager to learn. So I wrote for Martin, I wrote for another show, Payne Cooper. I wrote
I used to love that show.
oh, well, good, girl, you help me pay for this. I wrote for another show, Good News. Tom Joyner's show grew up and went national, so I went to radio for many years. Left LA, moved to Atlanta, came here, worked for Tyler Perry Studios on Meet the Browns and House of Payne, which is where I met the wonderful writer that you guys will talk to later, Brian, and then the Rickey Smiley Show, television show. Through that whole thing, I also got some acting jobs. If you guys listen to Bebe's Kids, he was Dorothea, who was chasing Robin throughout the whole movie. Toenail popping off. Yes.
Stop. Oh my God, that's so funny.
And let me tell you what was really, really special to me about that. Robin Harris and I turned out to be very, very, very good friends. Very, very close friends. And his passing was so sudden and so hurtful. And when it was time to audition for Faison Love got the part of Robin, and everybody was pulling for me to get that part, because they knew that I was really a big Robin fan. And Robin and I had an act we used to do together on stage called Battle of the Sexes. And we would tear each other up, just like Fred Sanford and Aunt Esther. That's how we used to just go, and people would love it. That's how I ended up getting into comedy and writing and acting. But what I want to let you guys know, that whole journey took over 20 years. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a journey. It's a real journey.
Right.
What I would encourage you to do now is to learn as much as you can. If you're interested, for example, what are you interested in? Actress? Okay. Learn everything about the industry. I would encourage you to take accounting classes, because I worked at the unemployment office in Los Angeles, and the #1 occupation of unemployed people in LA, actors. #1. Count your money. You need to know your money better than your banker, better than your attorney, better than you're a manager, better than you're a lawyer. Take those classes. Whatever seems to be odd, if they're offering a fencing class, well, I don't want to take fencing, I want to be an actress. The more skills you bring to the table, the better chances you are. If you only speak English, you done already chopped your head off. Learn another language. I don't care what it is. French, Pig, Latin, Swahili, Chinese, speak something else. Bring more to the table. You have to have something else to bring to the table. You want to start off as a PA, learn everything, production assistant, learn everything about the business. How many people in here want to write? Writers? Writers? Okay. Film, television? Okay. You guys know about final draft? You got final draft? I'm very impressed. Very good. What's the other one, Brian? Master?
Movie magic screenwriter.
Did you say movie magic?
I did, but I meant movie magic.
Oh, movie magic. Well, most people use final draft.
That's the industry standard.
Yeah. But just to let you know that we will have people send in things on Microsoft Word. Ain't nobody got time for that, okay? just letting you know. No. The other thing, write, rewrite, and then rewrite. Because you can always improve on it. It's hard. It's hard getting in this business. It's very, very hard. And I'm just keeping it real. This is not to discourage you, because I do want you to follow your passion. Most studios, I won't say most studios won't even take your work unless it comes from a literary agent. They won't take it. And there's a reason for that. It's to protect them and to protect you. If you got a bomb story about a bank robber and an astronaut and and you send that in, well, guess what? Somebody else is already started a story about a bank robber and an astronaut. You're gonna swear up and down. You stole my story, I want to sue you. That's why it comes in through the agent. Everything's registered. So don't think, if somebody says, here, you want to read this? And we'll say, no, it's not that we're discouraging you. I have to protect myself, because I don't want you to say, Myra J took my idea and took it over this so-and-so. No, so for that, many times, that's why I won't read. I won't even listen to your idea. Don't even tell me your story idea. I'm not saying that it's not a good idea, but it's to protect you. It is to protect you, because people will steal. People get sued all the time. All the time. As much as you want to write, read the people you respect, the people you think are good writers. I think that's really important. And as young African Americans, all I can say is expand your world. I love my people. I swear, I love my people. I love us. But it's more than us out there. Shonda Rhimes, to me, is one of the best. She doesn't write for a black audience. You notice that?
Yeah.
But she doesn't put like, she said she won't put discriminating things against black people. Like, there's never been a black crackhead, a black man who doesn't have a family, or walked out on his child, and that's what I like. I love her work. I love it, because she doesn't put us down at all.
So that's why when I say expand your world, think globally.
Right.
And there's another reason for that. Not only to reach a bigger audience, but when you start to make money, you also want your stuff to go to Europe and make money. If you just talking about Man and Ray and Daquan,
They're not gonna buy it.
they don't know what that means over Johnny. They can't relate. They cannot relate. So develop characters. Develop great characters. Develop memorable characters. Right now, if you're thinking of your favorite movie or TV show, you all think about that one great character. Somebody who made you laugh or cry, somebody who even just pissed you off. why did they do that? I love the show Scandal. I'm a Scandal fan, and one of the things that they do, they will surprise us. They will surprise us. If your story is going nowhere, we don't fell asleep before the commercial. You have to surprise us. So, what do you have that's in your story, and you're taking us along, and you're taking us along, and you go, boom! And we're like, oh man, I didn't see that. Oh snap! I was getting ready to get up and go to the bathroom. I sit here, I was getting ready to happen. That's when you know you have a story. That's when you have a page turn. So that's kind of what I wanted to say and share. I don't know if you guys have any questions or comments. Yes, sir.
What's your process like for like when you're thinking of a new script or like you get added to like a writing thing or like a TV show or something? How do you go about like approaching a new project?
Once you have the idea, how do you put it on paper?
Okay. And I'm sure Brian's gonna share some of these great stories too. But generally, this is how we do it on a sitcom. There's a team of writers. I'm gonna say this is the team over here. We have a team of writers. We have a head writer. There are many meetings. They meet sometimes with the star of the show if they have that kind of power. They meet with the executives. They meet with the network. This is the type of show we want to do. We want to do an over-the-top comedy, and these are the types of stories we want to tell. Just these crazy, ridiculous stories. So then we start pitching stories. As a group, everybody just start pitching stories, and then stories are selected. If you pitch the story about 3 men get drunk in Vegas and they steal Mike Tyson's tiger, then you actually, they may say, you go write that story. So that's yours. But first you do an outline. Everything is broken down into these. This is what I see happening. This is in my first scene, my second scene, the third scene. This is the act break. Right before the act break, that should be da-da-da. Oh shoot. Your act break when you're doing a sitcom or even a drama, it has to be good. It has to be big. It has to make people want to stay there and not turn that channel or get up and walk out, So you hold them. Then you come back. How we used to do it, we would come back after the act break, and that's what we call the big block comedy scene. Because at your act break, that's where you have your big problem. It's a big problem here now. How we gonna get the tiger back? Then we come back after the act break, top of the second act, big block comedy. Now, the way you decided to solve the problem has caused a bigger problem, and it's even more hilarious now. And then after that, that's where you have your resolution. You go, you're given a certain amount of days, you go home, or wherever you go, Starbucks or somewhere, to work on your script, write your script. It is you alone, it is your baby. Nobody else is with you now. Pressure's on. You got to, knock this puppy out. You come back and you present it to the room, and generally we do what is called a room read. Everybody takes a character, and we sit in the room and we read it and we critique it. We think you started off strong, blah blah blah. You can have stronger jokes here, here, and here. You know what? What you have in the third scene and the fourth scene doesn't gel up. Then we start to pitch ideas. You can't take it personally. We're trying to make the script better, because this isn't about you personally. We got a show to do, and we all want to keep our jobs. So it's all about making the script better. So we all pitch in and change it. And trust me, if you're ever lucky enough to get on a show, there may be a time where when the credits roll, the only thing that's still there that you wrote was your name. I'm just telling you the hard facts, folks. That's the way it is. But trust me, the check don't change, okay? You'll still get the money, but
My name is on the credit, that's all.
but you really do, want to present something really, really well that doesn't have a lot of changes. Then that is actually given to the actors. And we go and we have the actors do a table read then when they sit around and do it. And then as we hear the actors, the actual characters, like, oh, that last scene really funny there, but it's not so funny now. Maybe we can change it, or maybe one of the actors ad-lib something. That's even better. We're like, oh, we should have thought of that. We put that in the script. Then they get up and they go and rehearse it. And some things that seem really, really, really funny on paper, once they get up and start moving around, it doesn't work. And that's why I say you're gonna write, you're gonna rewrite, and rewrite. Rewrite it. And they'll do that. And then hopefully by then, when they do that and practice and get with the director and the whole thing, then it all comes together and that's how I do it. Yes, ma'am?
Okay, say I had a script, I wrote it, I decided that I'm ready for it, I start to like film it, whatever the case may be. Should you like just put it up, like I just want people to see it and see if they like the type of thing. Should you put it on YouTube or no?
You know, this is what I would say, and I haven't done a film, but to me, if you just want your work seen, I would say yes.
Yeah.
You want to get feedback, and you guys have so many more advantages now because there's so many outlets. Back when I was starting, it really was just, you know, are you going to do television or are you going to do film, and now. What's her name? Issa Rae, who did Awkward Black Girl.
Yeah.
Awkward Black Girl, you do know that Shonda Rhimes has teamed up with her. That's going to be a TV show now. Yes, yes, yes. So don't be afraid of the web. Start off in little snippets, you know.
I say, what if somebody steal my idea and like take it and take it somewhere?
Register your work. Register.
Oh, so still copyright it. You know,
yes.
Before you put it on YouTube.
Before you put it on. I don't remember who told me, but they said, if you have a great story, write it down in one sentence. One sentence, just like they used to do in TV Guide. One sentence. What is your story about? If you can't do it in one sentence, you don't have a story. Thank you so much. I'm Myra.